Welcome, sim racing fans, to the newest edition of the RaceRoom Grid Talk, episode 7. My name is Kevin, and with me is Chris, Director of Strategy and Sales at RaceRoom. Cool to have you here, Chris.
Yeah, nice to be back. I'm really looking forward to this Grid Talk.
We have a huge Grid Talk coming up. A lot of topics for you guys, a lot of updates and changes to RaceRoom. The biggest update since the inception of RaceRoom in 2013.
Yeah, that's true. So we will talk about a new super touring car today. And then we are talking about a complete new car class that will come into RaceRoom tomorrow. We are really, really looking forward to. Then we talk about an intense graphic upgrade. And of course, we will talk about the long-expected upgrade of the ranked multiplayer.
Yeah, a lot of topics, but a lot of cool topics coming up. So I'm sure you guys will be excited for this episode. But let's not wait too long with something to show. We have the new super touring car, the Renault Laguna. And for the ASMR fans of you guys, we have something for the ears. So let's take a look at our newest model in the super touring cars, the Renault Laguna. A new challenger, Chris, in the super touring car class, the Renault Laguna, 2.0 liters, naturally aspirated, sequential gearbox. I think a whole lot of fun to drive.
Yeah, like all the other cars. So what we really did well in the past is that every car has its own characteristic, and the Laguna will also be a special car. And I really look forward to this car because, back in the days when we released the super touring cars, this car was demanded from day one on from the community. And that's why I'm happy that it's now ready and it will go out tomorrow.
Yeah, we already have 7 manufacturers in the super touring car class. And I think for the fans, it will never be enough. There's always the asking for more, but you guys are on it. And how do you feel about that?
It's always... I have always mixed feelings because I think on the one hand we are bringing a new car and it always takes us, I would say, 4 to 5 months to bring a new car into RaceRoom. You have to negotiate a license, you have to get the data, you have to create the car, a 3D model, you have to bring on the textures on the car, you need the physics, the sounds, and it's such a lot of work to bring a car live. And I'm always happy to bring it and to show it to the community. And then the second question, the second post is always, but where is? I understand this completely on the one hand, because you have fans for every car, and that's why every Mondeo fan or every Nissan Primera fan wants the car. On the other hand, I'm always a little bit disappointed because be happy that you get a new car. But as I said, I understand completely both sides. And on the other hand, to have such a related community, such a passionate community is great, and that's why they can ask for every car they want.
And you guys are on it, and the class is super popular, the super touring car class. Can we actually expect more cars in the near future?
As I said, we know which cars they are asking for. So I think in the end, 3 cars are missing. It's Peugeot, it's the Nissan Primera, and it's the Ford Mondeo. as I said before, we have to work on the licenses or a solution around the licenses. And of course, we are on it. I will not say now which cars we are working on, but the journey is not over. And for sure, more super touring cars will come.
And since this year we have a whole new championship for that specific class, the RSTC, and it has been quite popular. Thomas Ribeiro did a great season, very dominating performance, but I think the fights in that class are always very engaging, very compelling for the fans to watch. How did you feel about the very first season of that, and can we expect more in the future?
To be honest, this was a community-related championship, and we focused on purpose on the community. Right before there was the DTM Esports Championship, this was also great, but you see the difference immediately if you compare the DTM Esports and the first race of RSTC. So DTM, a lot of prize money, a lot of prestige in it. And of course, the drivers are careful, they are strategic, they think on the whole season. And in RSTC, on the first race, I think we had more overtakes than the whole DTM Esports season. So for me, the RSTC was one of the most or the best races we ever had on RaceRoom streams. And I loved really the championship and the races. And that's why, it's called RSTC 25, because there will be a 26. So of course we will redo it next year. And there are some smaller things we have to improve, but I would say it was a success, and the drivers, what I got as a feedback, had a lot of fun, and that's the reason why we do it.
Yeah, that's such an advantage of sim racing, that you can jump in a whole different era of racing cars and experience that. But RaceRoom, the newest update, doesn't only have something to offer for fans of historical racing cars, but also, of course, for fans of the newest era of modern racing. And you've got something in the bag. Maybe you can tell us about that.
Yeah, we teased it already in the last grid talk. The Hypercars will come to RaceRoom, so this is for sure. And to be honest, we never expected the hype around this release. The post on our channels for the LMDh cars was the most successful post in the history of RaceRoom. We never had so many views, we never had so many likes, we never had so many comments. So I think it's a little, a sign maybe how the community will react tomorrow when they can drive the cars.
Yeah, and the Hypercar class is growing in real life. The field is growing there, and now it can also grow in RaceRoom. So a lot of to come in the future from that class as well. A lot of new features. But now it's time to take a look at the 3 new models of the RaceRoom Hypercar class. Finally, JF, finally we have LMDh cars, and finally we have you back on the RaceRoom Grid Talk. Good to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you too. Thank you for having me. Yeah, LMDh, what a topic. I'm feeling a bit anxious for tomorrow. I tell you why, because it's been a lot of work. Those cars are very complicated, and we've seen those cars show up in other games, and we know that we cannot not nail it, or we cannot get it wrong, basically. So it's a lot of pressure on our shoulders at the moment. But we have worked hard to figure out all the complicated regulations, all the virtual energy, the hybrid system, the dynamic brake bias. All of that is, I think, under control now. So it's going to be interesting to see the feedback from the community after the launch. But we know that the cars are very fun to drive at the moment in the beta. So yeah, we're confident that it's a content update that is full of fun and punch.
So it's not an easy task to implement an LMDh model. The regulations are quite complex, and it's maybe more effort than an older car, a more historical car. Can you go more into detail what really makes it so tricky and where the effort in developing a LMDh car for RaceRoom lies?
Yeah, well, when you took the example of old cars, in that era, you suffer from the lack of information or direct information from either CAD files or data about the cars. You have to look at the homologations of the car, which is something we do for the Super Touring, by the way. We work a lot from homologation papers of those cars. That's a very good source of information. When you work on modern cars, such as LMDh, you have a set of regulations that all the teams in real life get, that you have to work from and come up with a game design that replicates those sufficiently, and that's very complex at the moment. This virtual energy thing can be very complicated to understand, and in real life the driver is executing the strategy that the engineers are building for him or her from the pit wall. And in a simulator, in a game, you have to be the sim racer, the driver, the race engineer. You have to do all of that yourself. So it's a lot more complicated to drive those cars in that aspect. And so we also upgraded our shared memory API. And that's what all the third-party applications hook up to fetch data from the running game. That allows you to have applications like Crew Chief talking to you in your headset, or web HUDs and any telemetry applications you have on the side. So those tools are important to have for many sim racers, just to help with this strategy during an endurance race, for example. So it's important for everyone to remember that those applications, if they're not updated for this update, will break and stop working. So we have communicated through Steam News and through Discord so that everyone keeps their applications up to date. All the app developers have been informed. So we hope that it will be seamless tomorrow for this update.
And like you said, the LMDh cars are very complex vehicles. How much can you rely on data from manufacturers? Do they provide a lot of data, or for example, the chassis or the engine manufacturers? How much are they involved in the development process?
Well, so it's an interesting question. We were talking just before about the old cars and how you have to work from pictures and homologation papers for the dimensions and all that. For anything modern, you have the CAD files from the manufacturers, so that's like perfect reference for the 3D model. But when you're making a replication of or a simulation of such high-tech cars that still operate on the racing scene at the moment, there is some secrecy involved that you have to sometimes guess, because the manufacturer is not going to tell you every single detail that you want to know, and we want to know a lot of things, so we keep annoying them quite a lot with our questions. But we have had a great relationship with Lamborghini through the KW collaboration that they had for their SC63. So this has given us a window or an opportunity to know a lot about those cars that we hope you will enjoy after tomorrow's update.
That's cool. So through the cooperation with KW Suspension and the manufacturer, we have the fans and the players have even more access to a realistic vehicle model, because you have more data than maybe others in the sim racing scene.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of data the others have had, but we try and get the most out of the collaborations and partnerships we have. So
cool.
That's for sure. Mm-hmm.
And endurance racing is a huge topic for the fans. Le Mans is crazy. They have so many fans and players, and everyone probably now expects night racing, dynamic weather, driver change. What can we expect in the future of RaceRoom?
I mean, it's no secret that those are on the wish list from everybody, the community and the development team together. And adding those cars makes those features lack even more because you want to race those in the night. You want to enjoy them with a buddy and drive a swap and do all of these things. So we are, as you know, also pushing graphic updates, and that's like one more step along the way of having night racing, because I think you will have Thomas on just after this, but he will talk to you a bit better about what went into these graphic updates. But I see that more as a long path that we are now taking, and the restructuration of the code for anything that has to do with lights and the light system. That's definitely something that tells you that more work is coming with regards to removing some lights and having more headlights and more light sources. So yeah, it's definitely something we want to look into next.
So that's a first big step in the development roadmap for in the future, maybe even more dynamic weather and light system. And we will hear more about that with Thomas in a few minutes. Anything else you want to add for our RaceRoom community about the LMDh update and the fun they will maybe have with the new models?
Well, we hope that everyone will have as much fun as we have had testing them in multiplayer and against AI. So those cars are a blast to drive. Yeah, for sure.
Cool. Thank you very much for your time. Talk to you later on. And now it's time to look at the teased video of the new graphic update. So we will take a look at that now. That was an impressive video with all the new changes of the graphic update, Thomas. Good to have you back. 1 year ago, we already had a huge update in RaceRoom, and now it gets even better. You guys worked some magic. Can you tell us what happened last year and how much have you progressed in a new graphic update to date?
Yeah, thank you. I'm happy to be back here. And we were actually, very happy to make another big leap in the graphics department. And I guess, the best description I can give of what changed last year is that we kind of rediscovered all the features of the existing engine and kind of looked at all the dials and settings that we have and optimized it for like the old engine. And this year we started to look a bit more into redoing new systems, and probably the biggest thing we really built from the ground up is the lighting engine, because we were just not happy with the overall looks that it gave us. Yeah, I think the main thing we can say is that the weather just never felt correct. Like if you looked at a picture of a sunny conditions, it just didn't feel sunny. And if you looked at overcasts, it just kind of always felt like it was about to rain and not like there was a bright sun behind the clouds. So that was one of the main targets of to get right with this update. And yeah, we pretty much just concluded that to achieve this, we had to really build the lighting engine from the ground up. So pretty much all the shaders are fully redone. And yeah, we're definitely very happy with the results that we got.
Sounds good. And let's get more into detail. We have some before and after shots to take a look at. And maybe you can go one level further. So we heard the lighting was a big topic. So in general, the light reflections, everything, how the light works in RaceRoom. But what more can you tell us about the new graphic update?
Yeah, so I think one of the pictures or one of the comparisons that really highlights this feeling of the game being sunny is the Mazda MX-5 on Mid-Ohio, where in the before picture, you can see there's a shadow, so you know that there's a sun shining, but it doesn't really feel sunny. Like there's no bright highlights that really tells your brain, oh yeah, there's a bright sun shining from the top. Where in the new one, you can really see the bright highlights on the car, and especially our new bloom system as well. That gives this slight halo effect around the bright spots. That really, just help your brain understand what's going on and really make it feel more natural and as if you're looking at something real. And in the same comparison, we can also really see the difference in the reflections, where the old picture is a bit, it kind of looks like the car is just a metal, where in the new picture, it looks a lot more like metallic paint on a real car, where it's not just metal, but it's also, you have a clear coat on top, so you get a bit more clear reflections, which really is one of the big improvements in this version is those reflections. And probably the biggest part of this improvement has been in the light balance, like how the different parts of the lighting, so the sunlight and the ambient reflections and just the ambient light from the sky, how those all add up together. Because this was one of the issues in previous versions, where combining them just didn't give the expected results.
Yeah, the car models, they appear much more authentic, and it gives more three-dimensional feeling. When you look also at the interior shots of the car, it really feels like you can see the dashboard with the light, with the shadows. It's much more three-dimensional in a way. So I think the changes worked really well, and it's the kind of magic you guys in 1 year did such a big upgrade again after already the large update last year. But does it come as a performance cost, or how did you guys do it in the back end?
Yeah, the performance question is kind of a yes and no. It does cost a bit more GPU horsepower, but in the end, I think most people will actually gain performance, because what we did on the back end of the engine is make everything a lot more efficient in terms of what objects we draw first and in which order we do everything, which was quite inefficient before, which kind of gave our engine the name that it was very CPU bottlenecked, especially when a lot of cars are visible. And that's something that we can basically say that's a thing of the past. I don't think anyone will really be CPU bottlenecked anymore in the game. And you will really just be able to use your GPU to the maximum potential. And I think that's also where most people were struggling with performance when you're on a race start with 20 cars in front of you on the grid, all of them visible. That's where performance could sometimes struggle and chug a bit. And that's where we really made a really big improvement, which has also allowed us to give us a really nice setting to highlight, which is that the reflection setting on the car can now go to full refresh rate, where before it was only half refresh rate. So it always looked a bit stuttery on the reflections, and now it should be buttery smooth.
Wow, Thomas, it looks like you guys really worked some magic by improving the efficiency and also taking the graphics to a new level. So I'm excited what we will talk about and see in 1 year's time, next September, if you guys keep up the fast progress like that. I know it's not your focus of development in the team, but a big question also for the players is the ranked multiplayer. How do you feel about it from a player's perspective?
Yeah, I've definitely seen the progress that was made on this aspect. And yeah, I think for me, we really hope that the graphics that I worked on can kind of get people excited about the game, come and try it out, especially as we're free to play. And then that the ranked racing can be something that makes people stay and actually grow the community to get full lobbies just across the whole day.
Cool, sounds good. So fingers crossed for full lobbies, but I'm sure with the job you guys are doing, this will be hopefully for granted. Thank you for your time, Thomas. Kind regards to the team, really, who did a great job over the last year, putting in the work and the effort for the big update. And yeah, thank you for your time.
Thank you. Let's see what's next.
Back with me is Chris, and Chris, wow, the team has done a great job with a whole new content update, but also ranked multiplayer, the new graphics update. Wow, what a job.
Yes. To be honest, the team did an amazing job. You said it already, and I have really to say yes. From the headquarter perspective, or from our side, we supported the development graphic-wise and CI-wise, but the main work was done by the devs. And, you know, to see the different steps week by week, month by month on the graphic, but also on the ranked multiplayer development was great to see. And, you know, now I'm totally excited what the community will say, because I know how much effort we put in. And yeah, I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
Cool. And time for us to take a look at the newest features of the RaceRoom ranked multiplayer. So we have JF back in our RaceRoom Grid Talk, and we just seen the new features in the ranked multiplayer, JF, and it's finally becoming real. We've seen some mock-ups in the previous Grid Talks, but now finally, from tomorrow on, we can enjoy it ourselves at RaceRoom.
Yeah. Before we were talking about LMDh and how anxious I was. I'm still anxious for this update. This is like a very large update tomorrow for everyone in the team, all the content team and the web guys, because this has been a lot of work and it's not finished. But tomorrow we will push the first version of it, and that will be signups for daily races, weekly races, and special events through the game itself. In the past, we had in between solutions where we were using Discord bots to signups, but this is all happening inside the game now in the menu. So you will have daily races, which will be split between sprint, high-paced short races that are always on rotation. So there is no stopping from racing. You can just register to all the race and just keep racing for hours. And then feature daily races, which happen more in the evening during the peak hours, and those are a bit longer, more focused races that need more practice and more preparation for. And then you have the weekly races, which happen over the weekend, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And those are, even more focused, sometimes a bit even longer, sometimes multi-class. So it's going to be more, more preparation, even more preparation needed. And then the special events. So, for example, an endurance race like we had regularly now, every quarter, for example, or every month, there will be a special event. For example, the Daytona 2.4 hours, or any special event will happen through this system from now on. And signups means that you can have more players registering for a race, then there are places or slots on a server. So that means there will be grids and matchmaking happening through the backend to put all the players with rating that is similar in one server. So yeah, you will have splits and yeah, it's very exciting to see this happening tomorrow.
So this will lead to fuller grids and even better fights and closer races with the matchmaking. So I think everybody will be excited for that. And probably you guys will roll out even more features in the future for the ranked multiplayer. What can we expect there?
Yes, so like I said, this is a first iteration, so it's a pretty big step already, but we are not completely done, which means that we are still going to be adding championship series where you score points. We are going to be tweaking the UI based on the community feedback after tomorrow's update. So this is really a living product where any feedback that we will receive, we will adjust to make sure that it's the most pleasing experience for everybody.
I think that always has been a big strength of RaceRoom, that we're so close to the community. So you guys can always be very open about the feedback, positive and constructive feedback. And you guys are so close with your ear to the ground, hearing what's important to the community. I think that really is what makes RaceRoom so special. And we guys have seen it. You promised a new update, a new ranked multiplayer, and it's really coming now, becoming real. So thank you very much, JF, for both the effort and your time you guys put into RaceRoom and for coming to us to the Grid Talk. There's a lot on your plate probably right now with the update coming tomorrow, but we really appreciated you taking the time.
Yeah, thank you.
Wow, that's really a huge update, Chris. A lot of stuff you guys had on your plate for the past few months, but now finally the update is coming tomorrow. And I really enjoyed the Hypercar class update. I raced LMP3 myself, so I really love the cars there. They are like a rocket ship, and it's so cool for the fans out there to experience that class themselves. What are your plans for the new Hypercar models?
The new Hypercar models, first of all, we will integrate them into our ranked system. For sure, we want to make it available and drivable for the community. Then we are working on a special event, a 2-hour race on Interlagos, multi-class with LMDh and GT3. And this is something really new. We are preparing an endurance championship on RaceRoom for the first time ever. I know that we cannot make a digital driver swap, but we will find a workaround, and we talk about 3 and 6 hour races on RaceRoom, also with a team championship. So this is something I'm sure we will announce in October. But I'm looking forward to that. And of course, from now on, the LMDh cars will play a bigger role on all we do.
Yeah, that's super cool with the new Endurance Racing Championship. I think a lot of good things can come from that, and a lot of new features also will be asked regarding that. But there are more updates coming, of course, in RaceRoom. And I really have to ask personally, is there an LMP3 or LMP2 coming?
We are in the making. So I have no idea how long it will take, but with the LMP3s we started. LMP2 is a little bit postponed, but for sure we will add more classes.
That's cool. I'm excited about that. I'm sure it will feel really cool to drive these cars as well. Good entry into the class if the LMDh cars are too complex. The LMP3 cars are easier to learn how an aerodynamic car works. So that's cool that you guys are taking care of the entry stages and the entry classes as well.
Yeah, for sure. We always do that. And, we have some good RaceRoom drivers who experienced LMP3, Moritz Lüner, for example. So that's why we have good guys to work with to get good feedbacks how the cars are driving.
Yeah, the development can be done mostly in-house from the driver perspective.
True.
And for the esports fans, what more is coming on that part of RaceRoom?
As I said before, the RSTC will go into a new season. At the moment, we are talking to different partners about new esports championships. Let's see, maybe DTM 26 can start next year. But we are also talking to new partners. We talk about one cup series. I cannot say more at the moment, but it looks quite well that it will come. And let's see. I'm totally positive for the future that one of our negotiations will come to an end. First of all, we want to bring our multiplayer alive, and a lot of things will happen there. And as JF mentioned, we will add series and championships in the future. So I think I'm sure that there is more to race in RaceRoom in general, and we will add on top serious esports topics.
Yeah, that sounds very promising. And Q4 is also right around the corner. So that was a big update now in September right now. But Q4 is coming up soon, and can we expect even more content in such a short time frame?
Yeah, the community is waiting for DTM 25. Maybe this is a topic for Q4. And if we add DTM 25, we know that we have one or two classes from the historic parts of DTM. We missed some cars. I'm quite sure that we will bring 1-2 cars of the old era. We are working on 1 to 3 new or renewed tracks. So yeah, and I think one thing I'm really looking forward to personally is that we will bring a nice car for our free content pack. It's a cup car, and we want to upgrade a little bit the free content. So we will bring a car only for free content. So yeah, also the Q4 update will be very, very exciting.
Yeah, so a lot coming on the virtual side of RaceRoom. But we have also the Sim Racing Expo coming up next month. You guys will be there, but in what capacity? Is there something to win on site? What can the RaceRoom fans expect?
Yeah, for sure we will be at the expo together with Track Time and Asha. We have a big booth, and our own area. We will come with 10 simulators, and on Friday we will announce an extra challenge for the Sim Racing Expo together with Tim Heinemann. More to come on Friday, but there will be an on-site final, and there will be cool prizes you can win on sites, but more on Friday. So we will be there, and of course we will be at the SM Motor Show at the end of the year together with the DTM. So these are the last 2 highlights of this year on the exhibition side.
Cool, and I heard there will be 2 cars on the stage. One is Tim's Porsche, I think, and the other one finally on the Sim Racing Expo is my McLaren Artura Evo Trophy from this season. So you guys can meet Tim and me at the Sim Racing booth from RaceRoom and Usher Racing and Track Time. So a lot of stuff to do on the booth. Of course, you guys have to come by, and we're looking forward to see you guys there. Thank you for your time, Chris. A lot of new topics, a lot of updates and changes. Also thanks to JF and the team, and to Thomas and everyone who was a big part of the new update. And thank you also to you guys for always giving very positive and constructive feedback. Be sure to let the team know what's important to you and what you would like to see in the future, but also give the guys an applause for the new update. You can do that exactly tomorrow at 4 p.m. German time on the Discord server of RaceRoom. You guys can check in with the dev team, right?
Yeah, not all, but many of our devs will be around. Also, Chris Horowek, our esports manager, because he did work a lot on the Renault ranked multiplayer. So all these guys will be around on Discord at 4 p.m., like you said. So it's the moment you can, we hope that the community will give the first feedbacks on the cars, on the new ranked multiplayer, and they get an exchange with the community out there. And yeah, just something I want to say is that Discord is the place to be for us. So if you want to talk to RaceRoom, if you want to bring up some feedbacks, if you have also some negative points, or you want to say thank you to the guys, go on Discord, talk to the devs. Also, Chris is around. You can also meet me there. So I think that's the best place to get in contact with us.
Cool, yeah. I really like that there's an opportunity for such a direct exchange and dialogue with the dev team. So make sure you take advantage of it and enjoy the newest update tomorrow. And yeah, that's it from us, from the RaceRoom Grid Talk studio. And thank you, Chris. And we're looking forward to see you guys on the next episode of the RaceRoom Grid Talk.
Bye-bye.